Hello, my name is Sarah, and I'm the registrar here at Ingham Okoboji Lutheran Bible Camps. Today I'm here to share with you one of my favorite verses, Nahum 1:7. For the Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knows those who take refuge in him. Well, this has been one of my favorite verses since my college years. It's only been in the last few years that I've really begun to appreciate what it means to say that the Lord is a stronghold. Several years ago, I had the unique opportunity to return to grad school in Scotland and study scripture and theology for a year. In those rare times when I was not trying to read lots of books or type lots of papers, one of my favorite activities to do was to visit some of the many castles which dot Scotland's countryside. Two of my favorite castles to visit were Stirling Castle and Edinburgh Castle. These two castles have survived largely intact into the modern day because these two castles truly are strongholds. These castles are built on the top of rocky outcroppings in the middle of the countryside. They have walls that are multiple feet thick of stone and gates with heavy iron which hold and fortify. It's intimidating to approach and walk up to these castles, even in today's modern world, with all of our modern modes of transportation. I can't begin to imagine what it would have been like to be marching up to one of these castles in the militaries of old, on their horses, toting heavy cannons, and looking at these heavily fortified places, knowing that you were charged with taking over this castle. Because they are such incredible strongholds, these castles were the first place that royalty, nobles, common folk, anyone who was afraid of an invading army would flee for safety. And because these castles were such strongholds, they indeed found safety within their walls. Nahum is speaking to the city of Nineveh, who, 150 years after Jonah has visited them, have once again forgotten to keep the commands of God. Nahum is sent to warn the city of Nineveh that God's judgment is once again about to be pronounced upon their town. However, before he gets into the details of what this is going to look like, he pauses for a moment and offers this bit of hope to those within the city who have continued to hold on to God's commands. He offers them the promise that if they have run to God and will continue to run to God in the days ahead, that God will not forget them, that he knows those who take refuge in him. It is the same promise that is available for us today. In the midst of trials and tribulations, regardless of what our neighbors are doing, our pastors are doing, our churches are doing, our enemies are doing, regardless of what anyone else is doing, God knows those who take refuge in him. So I want to encourage you today that if you feel like you are facing many trials and tribulations, that you run to God and make him your stronghold. And I want to promise you that he knows those who take refuge in him.